The sap is rising. I was sat in the waiting room, waiting for yet another round of blood tests, when it came to me what this week's tree teaching from my latest walk was really about. It was one of those days when the air itself seemed polished clean and everything seemed to glow from within. I had gone out for a short, slow walk and was really drawn to the tree trunks. January is traditionally Wassailing month, when in deep winter they wake up the trees. In hunter-gatherer times it was the time for the hunt for life and a call to the heavens for spring, to find the warm blood and heartbeat of life's essence. In silence listen for the steady beat of the drum, ride that horse, it will take you far. If you stand long enough you can feel the life force of the land like a drumbeat. Have you ever felt that? If you stand long enough and quiet enough, the pulse will sway through and up your body. The wassailers sing and drum and carry lit torches and knock on wood. Then they leave offerings. And why? Because when the trees start to wake up, the sap rises and heralds the first tentative touch of spring. Once we were wanderers, time-travellers through the seasons. We walked with the land's heartbeat, and we had an intimate understanding of the length and breadth of each day, each month, each season. We would dig under the snow for the first shoots of spring. We would trail the tracks of animals who wanted to survive the winter just like us. Plant or animal, all of life wants to live. Going to ground come winter, bear digs a hollow and makes its hut over the top from branches, building a place to sleep. When snow falls, the only sign she is there is a thin plume of steam spiralling up from her breath. To the Paleolithic people, she was an extraordinary being who could survive without eating and yet emerge as strong as ever out from the ground come spring. Bears and trees lie dormant waiting. The wise wanderers walking would wake up bear and trees to ensure life would continue. When spring's maiden emerges, she carries the promise of summer's mother. Did you know that bear looks like a human when skinned? She can walk on two legs and she eats what humans eat. Unlike her, we cannot sleep without eating for months. Bear can go to ground in her hut built of tree branches and emerge months later bringing new life out of the earth. She goes to ground with the darkness and emerges into the light with her babies. Our ancient wanderers knew as the stars spun on their axis that bear would bring new life and the sap would rise once more. For them the bear was keeper of the seasons. Bear still lives across the world, but although sadly extinct in Britain, its spirit still lives on, if you know where to look. When the hunters came and bear was slain, they would sing and drum and carry torches. They knew that the life force flows through every plant and every animal. In their honouring of life and death, their hunt for bear was a prayer to the world. It was a hymn to their existence and their knowing that in order to live that something else must die. So they sent Bear off to the great bear in the sky. They placed the skull up in a tree, and when the leaves grew through it, they knew that the bear's spirit had reached heaven. A tree is active long before its leaves start to sprout in the spring. Sap circulates in its vessels as the tree prepares to feed the cells that will produce leaves, branches and wood. The sap nourishes cells like the blood nourishes cells in humans. Very early spring is the best time of year to listen to a tree, when it's practically gurgling with sap. But not all trees are good subjects. Avoid softwoods like pine and pick a hardwood tree, at least 15 centimetres in diameter, with smooth, thin bark. Birch, beech and cherry are all good choices. If you use a stethoscope, place it against the trunk of your chosen tree and listen closely. You may need to move it around a bit to find a good spot for listening. Like bears, humans have a sweet tooth for sap, syrup, honey and fruit. Only with the returning light does sweetness come. Anyone who has tapped a maple tree will know that the best flow occurs before the buds have even begun to swell, as in February with freezing nights. Sap does not freeze in the winter-time in the tree, as it has a natural antifreeze. Listen to the tree gurgling, crackling and bubbling. From life comes death. From death comes life. Now we wake up the trees and wait for the sap to rise. Now we wait for the leaves of spring to grow through the skull of winter, that bears and trees might jump up and live again once more. The sap is rising forest bathing meditation. Make your way to a place in nature and stand outside where you feel at peace among the trees. Standing still, breathe in slowly and out and in and out and in, out, in, out. Feel your body standing still like trees. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Allow your senses to relax, to expand, be open. What can you hear? What do you feel? Let the land sing. Feel the drumbeat of your heart's pulse echo through your body as you stand among the trees. Let that green wildness lying dormant slowly wake up. Feel your feet as roots and the ground holding you as you stand. As the thin fingers of winter's sun reach through the trees, let them touch your face. See them reaching out across the trees' trunks as winter's light spills across the ground. Know that in dark earth, new life is pushing upwards, reaching for the light. The leaves of your stories from the old year have died. So, let go, let go, let go. From death comes new life. Don't stand and freeze. Instead, let things flow. Allow life to flow inside. Feel the animal warmth inside of yourself. Blood coursing through your veins like sap in the trees. You stand strong like a bear, feeling the weight of muscle and bone, feeling your heart drum the beat of life. Let the soft song of spring enter you. Even when cloud dark, know the light is coming. Feel the light rising up through the earth, singing in the sap, surfacing under your skin. Feel the life blood of who you are, warming with winter sun, and feel deep down inside. Spring is soon to come. Allow yourself to gently move your arms and legs. Feel where you are stood, fully grounded and awake. Take in your surroundings before making your way home.